Hey guys, it's Will here coming at you with another video. It's late, I know it's the weekend. Hopefully you guys had a good Easter at the time of this video recording. As you guys may have seen, we finished the 40-day paint challenge under 40 days. So that was kind of fun to do. So in this video we're going to kind of talk about stuff, kind of my thoughts on it. We have Kat. She'll be on me, on and off on me, as cats do. Basically, this challenge, for those who may not know what this was, the videos will be in the playlist that this video's in, my yearly challenges. This is kind of a placeholder for my Apex challenge part 2 of that, for whenever that board game actually gets shipped, which is supposed to be this year allegedly. So hoping it's actually earlier than this year, like than the months they said. It looks fine, I just want my game, please. But that's that. I did a stream on Thursday as of this video recording of me painting the last few models and things like that. So I'm probably going to have, continuing on here, I'm going to have some b-roll from that stream running over top of this. I might cut from back in and out from time to time. Forgive me guys, the cat was going after something she wasn't supposed to. But anyways, going forth with this, starting off with this challenge, I basically I did a poll where I went through the different armies of bolt action I had. The idea was up to 2,000 points of models. I had to make a list based off of a theater. That was won by the poll by a 5-vote lead. There was only like 6 or 7 people that voted, so like a 90%, 90 something percent overall rating for the desert theater, so Germans and Italians. So we did that. We made a list based off of 1942 in the desert, and we made a list using Easy Army in our books, which I will have on this video. Hopefully, if I remember it, I'll have a file that you guys can see the list. If not, I'll have on the screen somewhere at the end maybe, or during this chat, or I'll have the list itself sliding up. If not, I'll post the list manually in the description, so look down in the description if you want to see what the list was. And yeah, we're gonna go here and I'm gonna pull out some of the models if I don't have the stream. If not, I'll take screenshots of the stream and I'll talk about the models here, and we'll do that. Make sure there's not any others I need, which is one right here. Blep. So we have our dudes here. Now there's an extra rifle dudes that kind of act as furthermen for some of these guys, so there is that to be aware of. These are just the models that are specific to that role, the ones that actually do the bonuses. So starting off here, as you can see, we have our artillery observer. We have our, what is he? Second lieutenant for our Germans. We have our medic for our Germans. We have our 2 boyos for our Italians. Zooming in here, we have our first guy here, which is the artillery observer. I know our lighting for this area is not the best, sorry. So here we have our artillery observer. Look at him there. So he has his little map, his binoculars. He's just artillery, so he can call in a once per game ability to do big bombardment. Next off here we have our medic, who has, I took a magazine from a Thompson and actually kind of messed around with it to make it look like a bandage. Then we took a ammo case from, I think, the anti-tank rifle, that or the light mortar, and turned it into a medic case along with his back there, and kind of painted his bag to have it, because in the desert their bag had it, I think. And then little white splotch on their helmet to blend them in. Next off we have is our German lieutenant here. He has a bullet in his mouth. That or I painted it like a cigar, one of the two. It's got a brick on it by his foot. So we have them. We have our Italian boyos. So that's our HQ squad. Next part, in my opinion, to any fun part of the armies, we have our weapon teams. We have 2 MMGs and a light or a medium mortar. Now, I was also able to, in this kit, make a light mortar team and a anti-tank rifle team. Going into it, a lot of the German lists allow you, especially in the theater selectors, allow you to take 2 MMGs per battalion. These are a lot of fun. I personally myself like to take them myself just because they offer, you know, fun pew pew times. As you can see here, we have 2 of them in different sort of versions. These guys were hit with a more glossy varnish. Here you go, you can see they're in their yellows. Really nice models. Match that, we have them in their greens. So that's their front. We have their backs there and their side. So that's our 2 MMG teams. Germans get an extra dice on all their LMGs and MMGs. So that's fun. So this is the mortar team. It is a 3-man crew. As you can see, the same green. And then of course the backing. These come in almost every starter box for every army as a mortar. Now, when I made this mortar, I do have another one. The crew did not come with a mortar. It was missing. I don't know if it was because maybe I lost it when I was looking at it, or if it just didn't come with one. That's why I didn't report it to Warlord, because I didn't care. I didn't want to get somebody in trouble if they didn't do it and it was my own mistake. So what I did here was, for the tube, I took a barrel of the Panzer IV and I drilled a hole in it, basically halfway down. So as you can see right down there, that's the armored plate there that I'm using for it. And of course, we look into our bonus teams, which here we have our light mortar team. We have the front there. Then we have the side. And then we have the back. Now excuse me if you see a black little bar or my finger go into screen. I'm using a friggin' remote light to basically highlight the front of these things, just due to how the lighting in my room is shit. So this is basically there just to help be able to see. So, and it's just me trying to angle it properly for you guys. Or I would have the light that I have on my desk behind me pointing towards it. Anyways, we have our sniper team here, our anti-tank team. These guys are great just because they can take out veterans behind walls and covers pretty easily. And of course, you know, take out light tanks and transports. In worst case, you can use them to ping pins onto vehicles, because technically it can hurt them. But yeah, so that's the weapon teams. We're gonna go here and now look at the big things. So as you can see, we have our SDK Z whatever 222, SDF 222. We have a Sevavente, and we have a Panzer IV. As you can see, there's this turret here too. That is for this boy right here. So starting off, as we push these kind of back out of the way, we will start with our armored car. There you go. In all its glory, we have the armored car itself here. As you can see, it has gas tanks and stuff on the front, some side stowage. We have in the front here what I have painted, along with side with a tire cover, as you can see here. With these, I can actually kind of pick them up, and the turret, the top, and the cases there. This turret does come off. I can replace it with the other one that has the MMGs on it. So that is the car. Now with the Semavente, why this one is special is because you can do this without magnets too. This thing is made for it. But you can pop it off, and I have a little guy on the inside. And this circle here is a magnet, this circle. And this just pops right on. And now I have both versions Although, unless you're running purely Italians, I would only ever suggest running the Sevavente out of this box, just because it has that medium anti-tank gun on it, and its profile is so low. You might as well take it. Now, if you're going to be running Italians as your primary list, I'd probably say take one of these boys. It has a light anti-tank gun on it, so when you're playing the desert area, you know, with friends, you're going to be fighting at max. The most hardest armor is going to be maybe a Sherman or a you know, Matilda. But this gun can do good work. But the reason why you take this one is it has dual hull MMGs, so you're going to get 10 shots out of that. And lastly, we have for the vehicles our Panzer IV. This is straight from the box, no Schurtzens on this. We have our treads, tracks, whatever you want to call them. Our top, which we worked hard on, sandbags that we've added, and of course the back. So with that, we're going to switch over and take a look at the biggest model in this, which is the Flak 36 or the 88. Here we go. So we're back and we have our Flak 36 here, or the 88mm as most people know it as, on the thing here. As you can see, more crew than there is on the base. That's because this runs as a 7-man team. You could also use 2 of these guys, the one with here and another one you can use as 2 extra spotters if you don't really care for actual full model representation for your crew. Like me and my friends don't really care too much for them, as long as you know your model's base and you have little dice to say, hey, just to let you know this gun has this much crew, then we're mostly fine. So you can use this guy as like a backup artillery observer if you're buying the starter box and just the starter box, or use them as a spotter for your flak or your mortar. This is the one gun that I recommend, even if you're buying a box separately, or you're buying a different German box, like maybe you're buying the paratroopers or the SS, or I think the Heer might have this. I don't think the Heer. I think the Desert is the only one that has this in its box. But if you're buying any other starter box that's not the Desert box, I highly recommend as your first purchase for your army, especially if you want to play competitive, is to get an 88mm. The British have something similar, but not too as powerful. This thing is a heavy support for Warhammer terms. Super heavy anti-tank gun, so it gets a +7 or 6 to its roll. It has indirect fire mode, so it can be a howitzer. It has flak, so it can shoot airplanes, but no one really plays with airplane observers unless you're playing a special mission, or you're playing Americans, because they get 2 columns of air observers if you have it. So looking here, we have our crew and we have the gun. Crew doesn't matter as much, though I do really like this crew here, which is push this to the side. I do really like this crew though, which has the case of ammo that they're running with. And of course you have then you have this guy who carries the notepad to take the notes and direct the firing. But let's get right into the actual cannon itself. Normally this can rotate, but like I've said in my last few videos where I talked about this cannon, if you build it right, you can make it up and down. But gluing it straight down works fine too. But yeah, so the gun does rotate normally. I unfortunately had to glue mine because the only downside to the Desert one is the crew member that sits in the gun is actually quite heavy, and he will make the gun fall. So I had this spare base sitting around and I decided to use it, put sand on it using the whole sand and white glue tactic, some Cromlech city debris, the Warlord Games anti-tank stuff, and of course all the spare ammo and guns and stuff were all from this kit itself. So with that, we're gonna go take a look at some of the infantry. I'm not gonna pull them all out because they're all basically the same, but I'll read off what infantries I have in them and kind of show you each of the different models with those weapons on it, and we'll call it the end of this video. As you can see, we have 2 infantry kind of in the background here. These are basically just kind of a look at how I built them. The right here being my Italians and the left here being my Germans. Now, if I wanted this to be a little bit more thematical, I'd probably swap out one of the units of these Italians to be, what are they? Gustatori, I think they're called. They're combat engineers. Again, this is kind of built on, again, history, but also a little bit of Company of Heroes 3. So I would have probably swapped out some models, a couple of units for those guys if I was going to ally some Italians, but here we are. So we're going to start with the Italians because they're my smallest units. So I'm running in my list basically the same sort of layout, same loadout for these guys. Hey guys, so we're here looking at the infantry. Yeah, so lighting is slightly better because I got a new light source. Also, I want to record this section of these guys and I frickin' forgot to hit start recording. So I don't know how much battery life I have left and it is kind of bad. So I'm going to just rush through this part. I'm so sorry. It is what it is. So all the squads basically in the army are going to be the same layout. So I just want to show off some of the models and kind of go over them. So we have, for our Germans, we have 2 loaders. We have, these are the Schützen squads. This is a Desert Africa Corps sort of unique unit. They have 2 loaders. Move these out of the way. 2, where are they? Where is he? 2 LMGs, as you can see here. 2 LMGs, 5 rifles, because 5, the 2 loaders being an extra. And then we have El Sargente down there. Kind of look at some of these models. We have, these guys have all been, you know, clear coated, protected, heavy, so I don't feel too bad if I bap them around. So we have one of our rifles here. OMG using some British weapons that he stole, because the boxes that make these guys don't come with enough LMGs to make the Schützen squad, even though that is the squad I'd recommend making for any Desert Africa Corps lists, because that's where you get them in. Then of course we have our NCO, which is our leader here, with his own sort of box. Then going on to the Italians, but majority of these guys are going to be their elite runner guys. So you have a loader, you have 1, 2, 3, 3 rifles, 4 rifles basically, because of your loader, LMG, and your sergeant with SMG. So there you go, SMG, LMG, loader, 3 rifles. Then I have this special guy which I made as a cool sort of unique character, lieutenant or sergeant, that can be act as a further man or what have you. Squad right here. I'm sorry I don't have a turntable to kind of show them off on, but these guys here. So kind of looking at them, we have the sergeant himself, that custom sergeant I made. We have our SMG guy, LMG, with very cool unique side loading machine gun, and of course just like a unique running infantry guy. With that guys, this has been that video. A lot of errors trying to get this to work, but here we are. So thank you so much for joining me on this trial and this journey on this channel, or in this challenge, say, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Maybe it helps to boost you to do it yourself, to paint your own models. You know, you don't need to take hours to do this on your own. You can do this like I did it, where it's every a couple hours a day, maybe an hour a day, less than that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. We'll see you guys in the next video, and hopefully you guys leave down some comments and things down below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Click the video. Click it. Click the video. You know you want to.